Alright, so today we're diving into one of my favorite One Punch Man stories. It's the one where the world's strongest hero goes up against his biggest enemy yet. And no, it's not some giant monster. It's bureaucracy. This is a pretty hilarious look at what happens when you pit overwhelming power against just plain old reality.
So let me ask you something. When you think of a superhero, what do you picture as their biggest, their greatest challenge? Is it a supervillain with a crazy plan to take over the world? An alien invasion? Maybe some kind of city-destroying monster?
Well, for a brand new bottom-of-the-barrel hero, it turns out the answer is way simpler. It's just finding any work at all. As his disciple Genos points out, even if you're a hero, you gotta hit the pavement and pound the pavement just like a salesman making cold calls.
So here's how we're going to break this down. We're going to follow two stories that are happening at the same time. Saitama's really personal struggle to just keep his job and this much bigger hidden threat that's looming over the city. We'll see how these two completely different missions crash into each other and what that reveals about the massive gap between how people see heroes and what real power looks like. Okay, let's kick things off with our hero's worst enemy. And like I said, it's not a monster, it's not a villain, it's a problem that's way more relatable and honestly, probably a lot more stressful. This right here, this is the source of all Saitama's problems. The Hero Association has this really simple, really annoying rule for its lowest-ranked members. You have to perform at least one heroic act a week and get it on the books or you're out. You're fired. It has nothing to do with how strong you are, it's just about whether you punched your time card. And yeah, the clock is absolutely ticking. Saitama's been a pro hero for 5 days now, and the city has just been annoyingly peaceful. He's only got 1 day left to find some trouble, any trouble, or his entire hero career is over before it even gets off the ground.
So while he's completely freaking out on the inside, he's also trying to mentor his super serious disciple, Genos. But, having zero actual wisdom to share, Saitama just pulls some vague, spiritual-sounding advice out of thin air. Something about training the mind. And of course, Genos eats it up completely.
And this is the best part. We get a little peek inside Saitama's head. He's not some enlightened master, he's just a guy completely winging it, and he knows it. He's fully aware he's just tricked his most loyal follower, and it really just perfectly sums up the hilarious dynamic between these two.
So Saitama hits the streets, and he is desperately looking for any kind of crime, a purse snatcher, a car thief, anything. But his search just keeps getting derailed, first by his rival, Sonic, who shows up for a fight, and then by another hero, Tank Top Tiger, who sees Saitama's crazed, desperate face and just assumes he has to be a villain. The poor guy just can't find the right kind of trouble.
Okay, so let's switch gears. While Saitama is having this very personal, very stupid crisis, there's a completely different story building in the background. The Hero Association is dealing with a much bigger and way more mysterious problem that's brewing right in his neighborhood.
All eyes are on this abandoned area in City Z. The reports coming out are not good. Monster attacks are way up, and the monsters themselves are getting stronger, more advanced. The whole place has basically become a ghost town. And there are these rumors swirling that something really nasty has moved in.
So yeah, this is not being taken lightly. The folks in charge at the association see this as a huge potential threat. So they send in 2 of their high-ranking Class A pros, Golden Ball and Spring Mustachio, to go check it out and figure out what's going on. And this right here, this is the core joke of the entire story. You've got 2 different missions happening in the same city at the exact same time, but they have wildly different stakes, different moods, different everything.
I mean, just look at this side by side. On one hand, you've got Saitama. His objective? Find any bad guy. The stakes? He might lose his job. His mood? Totally annoyed and desperate. Then you have these 2 professional heroes. Their objective? Investigate a threat that could wipe out the city. The stakes? Oh, just their lives and everyone else's. And their mood? Cautious, tense, and serious.
And their mission goes south, fast. They run into this creature, Kombu Infinity, and its tentacles are basically like whips made of solid steel. These highly capable heroes get completely wrecked. They realize this thing is way out of their league, and they're forced to send out a distress call for immediate backup.
So, this is the moment, right? This is where these 2 totally separate storylines, Saitama's pathetic little job hunt and the hero's life-or-death battle, are about to collide in the most hilarious way imaginable. Okay, so let's trace how this happens. A high-level emergency alert goes out to the Hero Association. Reinforcements get scrambled and sent to City Z. At that exact same moment,
A totally defeated Saitama wanders into that same abandoned area, grumbling about how there are no monsters around when you need one. And that's when Kombu Infinity, fresh off of beating 2 Class A heroes, spots what it thinks is just some guy.
So, when the backup heroes finally show up, the fight is long over. All they find is total destruction everywhere, and one single piece of the monster's body. They are just completely baffled. Their only conclusion is that some other, even bigger monster must have shown up and taken out Kombu Infinity in a turf war.
But here is the punchline. Saitama gets home, and Geno sees he brought back a ton of Kombu, that edible seaweed. And Saitama just casually says, "Oh yeah, just happened to catch it for a really good price." He completely obliterated the city-threatening monster off-screen, without a single thought, because he needed an ingredient for his soup.
And this whole thing brings us to our final and maybe the most important theme of the story, the absolutely gigantic, comical gap between what is actually real and what people think is real.
This is the ultimate irony. Saitama's incredible, city-saving heroic deed goes completely 100% unnoticed. Instead, he gets credit and a tiny little bump in his rank for that chaotic run-in he had earlier with Speedo Sound Sonic, who the authorities mistook for just some public menace. He fulfilled his weekly quota by accident for the totally wrong reason.
And if you need any more proof of this, just look at the data on Genos. Now, he's in Class S, the top of the top, but in terms of actual ability within that class, he's ranked dead last, 17th. But when you look at his public popularity, he's ranked 6th. How does that make any sense? Well, it's all about image. It's branding. The public absolutely loves him. He's a young genius, he's handsome, he has this mysterious vibe because he won't do interviews. They've even nicknamed him the Cyborg Prince. Their admiration is totally based on these superficial things, while Saitama's raw, unglamorous, absolute power is completely invisible to the very system that's supposed to measure it.
Which really just leaves us with this one final thought to chew on. If the whole system of ranks and rules and public opinion can't even recognize true strength when it's staring them in the face, then what actually defines a hero? Is it what the public thinks? Is it a number on a ranking sheet? Or is it maybe just the simple, unseen act of getting soup ingredients while accidentally saving the world?